Hey, good morning. It's Dan McDonald here. I'm going to be doing a juice cleanse with my Elite Video Club starting Sunday the 20th. So just in about 3 days from now. And that'll go until Sunday the 27th. So if you want to join us, I highly recommend joining the Elite Video Club. I'm going to start switching everything over to the Elite Video Club just because this whole thing with YouTube, with everything that I've been through in the last 14 years, only to lose the channel and then now just walking this fine line between, I've noticed that if I make health videos, nobody really watches them. But if I do controversial conspiracy stuff, I get way more views. And so the ego always wants more views, is trying to get more traffic, is trying to build the business. Then there's another part of me that wants to help people, and so I'm trying to balance all that out over these years. And then when I do you saw my process of making those 4 videos for, to promote the juice cleanse. And then I knew that if I did some kind of relevant topic, which was the Hawaiian wildfires, then I'd get more traffic. And I actually did get quite a few people to sign up for the Elite Video Club for the juice cleanse. And I know that's unconventional, but when you're dealing with shadow banning, it's kind of like you're really trying hard to find that sweet spot where you're like, okay, relevant content to drive traffic and get some eyeballs on your business. And it's always been a tightrope. And I know with the Hawaii wildfires thing, that's why I posted all 4 of them. I took them down now because, it really wasn't in the best taste, to be honest with you. I kind of feel bad about that. But at the same time, I can't really say anything about what really truly happened, even though I know exactly what it is. I actually have a lot of friends that live on Maui, and they know what's going on, and anyone can put the pieces together. And then so people were like, you're just spewing this conjecture, but it's like they do the same thing every time, all the time, with what's going on in humanity. And you want to warn people, but you can't. So, because if you warn people, you lose your business. So I'm walking this tightrope. And so I've just been blocking people because unless you walk a mile in a man's moccasins, you don't know how hard he's trying to walk this fine line between, his business, helping people, and at the same time being shadow banned and losing all the algorithms because the AI has put me on the domestic terrorist watch list because I'm trying to tell you the truth and help people to save their lives so that they don't fall over dead. You know what I'm saying? Sudden adult death syndrome. I'd seen another guy the other day, just boom, right there. And there's just nothing you can do. A lady at the market, boom, that's what's happening. And so I can't really help. And so it's a little frustrating, to be honest with you, to get up here, you're trying to speak in code, and then people are like, you're so disrespectful. I'm not the one that's disrespectful. It's the people that are the satanic murderers of children and doing all these things on planet Earth to destroy humanity and society through this satanic cult using communist style tactics. So I'm not the bad guy. I'm just the one pushing a rock up a hill, trying to share a vast array of different types of understanding and knowledge so that you can protect yourself. Because the one thing I'm grateful for is the knowledge that I have of the diet and the knowledge that I have of what's going on in society, like in the food supply, the air supply, the water supply, the government, and then even now the psyop that's taking place on the on the internet and in the media. And so it's a really hard job that I have here. But what I'm going to do to save myself is just move everything over to the Elite Video Club. And because it's really, really cool and peaceful. And over there, they let me be myself. And if people don't dig it, I think I had one complaint, one negative person in 2 years. And so it's a really safe place for me to be. And we laugh about all the stuff. And we talk about it because I use Zoom, which doesn't have any, obviously they can't shadow ban you and censor you while you're on a live Zoom. Maybe the day is going to come when they can do that. And then I use my camera to record the replay instead of Zoom, because then they could probably monitor it in certain ways. And then I can go up to Vimeo. So I kind of lose the AI, scanners. But if you go up onto YouTube, every single word is being monitored right now, checked to make sure that it doesn't go against, send a red flag, and then cause demonetization for their agenda and the PSYOP and the suppression of information, as well as going against any of their the Google AdSense advertisement sponsors, who are basically about 90% pharmaceutical, which is why I get kicked down. So when I use these clickbait titles and stuff, I'm just really I'm not going to do it anymore, because what it does is it brings too much riffraff to me. And so I'm just trying to grow the channel, and that was a mistake on my part to post those videos about the Hawaiian wildfires to promote my business, because I couldn't really say anything about the fires. Like, I know what's going on, but there are my platform is on YouTube, and that's the one where you have the least amount of, so I'm really basically super compressed into not being able to say anything about anything, because the advertisers are pharmaceutical, and I'm kind of the antithesis of that, because I think that suppressing your symptoms with drugs isn't really a great idea. And then to know everything about like what happened in Hawaii, I can't say that here, because that could be a real risk. And so everything is so vague. And then a few people got pissed, but I blocked them, because I just don't put up with negativity, even though they're right. You know what I'm saying? But still, until you walk a mile in a man's moccasins, and I'm learning the lessons. What I'm going to go for, though, from now on, I realized through a conversation with my partner that, it's quantity over quality. And I can do the quantity and get a lot of people to come over, but it's the wrong kind of people. And none of the conspiracy people, nobody has ever paid me for a consult to, talk about conspiracy stuff. And so that's over on the Elite Video Club, which we kind of gave up months ago. Now we're more on a real trajectory of diving deep into some of these experiences that I've been having. I share my own experience, and the live Zooms are usually anywhere from 90 minutes to 3 hours sometimes. I think the longest we ever had was 4 hours. So people ask me, do we have direct access to you? The answer is yes, all day for 2-3 hours. Now, hardly anyone ever asks questions, a few questions here and there, and we answer those in depth, which is really cool. Sometimes we'll spend 20-30 minutes on a topic going in depth with my experiences with all the different kinds of things, fasting and diet and everything else. And anything else, and even a lot of the conspiracy kind of stuff, because we're a very open group over there where everyone is way more on board. Whereas the YouTube is a real clown show with like bots. Seriously, like there are robots. You go over there and it's like ZZ586PTQ is their username. And it's like, okay. And they have like one video of a cat or something. And then all they do is just spread negativity, and it's amazing how lifelike their comments are and stuff. But those are the bot farms. It's pretty basic stuff. It's negativity, and it's crazy actually that's going on planet Earth. But it's just what's going on. And so YouTube is the hardest thing, and I can't get any of these other places to grow, to get enough traction to be able to build a business. So it's like, I have been looking for something else to do, honestly. but I keep getting kind of sucked back into the YouTube because I'm able to keep making rent money every month with this thing. So I'm kind of trapped in the YouTube thing, but I'm really thinking about breaking out as soon as I can and just living without anything, actually. Letting go of the apartment, selling the truck, getting rid of all my stuff, and just finding a much more simpler life because I don't mean to be complaining. It's just that I'm actually, what I'm doing on the internet is not really the real me. And there's this other thing that's like way more important, but it's not really my job. And I mean, food is already controversial enough. I mean, people hate raw food. You know what I'm saying? It's actually the microbes and the parasites living inside their guts and in their brains and in their hearts that hate raw food because they know that when you eat the living food, you have to deal with your stuff. And when you do fasting and juicing, so when we do this juice cleanse, I'm gonna hold space because what it is it's really a matter of unwinding the unresolved traumas of the heart. And all these people that are calling me for consults, not all of them, there's some people that are like, I'm just trying to lose 20 pounds. Every once in a while, someone actually needs like health advice, but most of the people are just afraid to face their unresolved stuff. And I get it, man. I avoided it forever. And now I'm just in the depth of it because I don't really go anywhere. I don't have any friends. And so I just kind of sit here always in my own thing as I'm trying to unwind all this junk on the heart, you know? So it is working, but life is definitely challenging for sure. And I'm trying to balance all this stuff, make rent money, trying to be of service. I don't know if I'm doing any good because when I do health videos, nobody watches them, nobody cares, and nobody's interested in that. But when I do the stupid, you know, conspiracy stuff, I get 2 or 3 times as many views, lots more comments, lots more likes, but also I get a lot of riffraff and I get a lot of judgment and criticism, which is fine, you know, that's just on them. I don't go around on the internet and criticize anyone. I'm just saying, protect yourself from the, you know, the disharmonious thought waves and the actual physical manifestations of the destruction of your children and yourself and your reproductive organs and your health through the food and the drugs and the propaganda, where you're going to be confused and you're going to be exposed to like negative thought patterns and stuff. And that's why like the only negativity in my whole life is from the internet and social media. Other than that, I don't have any real, my radar is so, I don't really put up with any of that kind of stuff in my real life. So a lot of times I'm trying to refine this thing. I mean, it'll never be perfect because it'll always be the internet. And there's just going to be people that are unhappy and they are miserable and they want to project that onto you. But if you're miserable and unhappy, go look at the person in the mirror because that's the fix right there. You know what I'm saying? Get some counseling, get some support, watch some videos on trauma, and look at like everything that's happened in your life and stop blaming people and just deal with the pain. You know, because some of us had a really hard deal and we never had our needs met. Here we are like a 50-year-old man living alone because he never felt worthy of love. I mean, so this whole YouTube thing, at first I felt loved. Then I got kind of famous. And then that's when it really, you know what, hit the fan. And I've been managing that ever since, coming from a place of where I've had to deal with self-worth issues, self-confidence issues, lovability, and that kind of thing that goes way deep down in the iceberg. So I'm not like complaining, it's just that is my lot in life. You know, that's what God gave me to work through, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. It sucks right now because I'm 100% in the thick of it. And so I'm just robotically going through the motions, making the same recipes and stuff. And that's my little safety zone because people can't get too pissed when you make coconut almond yogurt. They can say shit like all you do is sell the greatest, most powerful, you know, probiotics and enzymes in the world and herbs that help clean people's colons and get their minds clear and help to detoxify their bodies and stuff, you know, and they don't want to be sold stuff because they don't have any money or whatever. They don't value themselves or they don't value high quality products and things like that in this world, and they don't understand, so they don't want to be sold things. But I decided to align myself with the best enzyme and probiotic and herbal company on planet Earth. And so that's just my job. And so I do the same thing over and over and over again, because I can't, with the people, I have this much range, and with the big tech, I have this much range. So I don't really get to talk about the things that I really want to talk about that are really changing my life and the things that I really love. But I am going to start doing classes on the Elite Video Club, and I'm going to start talking about and sharing some of the things that I think are truly helpful, what really matters to my heart, which is more of a bigger picture thing that does have to do a little bit with food, but also has to do with many other aspects of life and how we can, and I need to do that for myself so that I can be teaching these things that are of a higher level, even though I haven't fully, it's not all the way there completely, like masterfully on every level. But I can't wait until I'm perfect in order to start sharing these things that are really gonna align people with the ways of the masters, you know, that are the way to get out of all this suffering. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I'm right in the middle of it. So I'm waiting till I'm perfect to actually get up here and teach anything. But I got the food thing down. That's pretty easy, the food trip. So it's kind of boring, but it does help me to make money, to be honest with you. And so I'm just kind of going through the motions. And I think some people can dig it, because I do get some consults for people that need help, but none of the conspiracy stuff gives me any consults. So I need to go for the quality over quantity. So everything is just going to start to go. I'm just going to start to put everything up on the Elite Video Club. It's only $39 a month. And I work really hard and I put a lot of effort into that. And it's quite a bit of work to hold space for 2 or 3 hours doing those live Zooms and stuff like that. And then it takes me like a whole day to upload that and stuff like that. So there's work involved, you know, and it's valuable. Like, and I want it to be valued because I've worked so hard and busted my you-know-whats for so long. And then the rest of the world, they're not really going to teach you this, because some of the other diet plans are more suppressive, where this is more bioactive and it's going to awaken you, but then it's very uncomfortable because you actually have to become resensitized to everything that's going on inside of you in your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual planes of existence. And so basically the live foods put your ass to work, basically, because you don't get to be numbed out and zoned out, especially then you get off the weed, then you get off the drinking, then you get off the food, then you get off the social media scrolling, and you start like actually dealing with your own stuff. That is when it gets to be, you know, that's why people do not do the living foods, because it brings you back to life, and it's easier to stay asleep and in disharmonious and dysfunctional relationships, instead of growing and evolving out and getting rid of the guilt and quit projecting on other people and actually dealing with your own stuff. It's really not that pleasant, and I understand why the vast majority of humanity wants to stay asleep and doesn't want to wake up, because it is hard work. But if you're one of those people that really sees the light, the lightless light, and you really see your potential, and you really want to honor the truth through devotion, you're just going to have to go through the grind of it and sit there through all of it, you know? And that's why we do the living foods. That's why we do the fasting. That's why we're going to be doing the juice cleanse here, to help people to work their way through these, you know, our trauma. Basically, everyone's got, you think, oh, I wasn't raped or beaten, but you have microscopic ones, needs that weren't met, and they just keep replaying themselves over and over again. So we're going to be doing a reparenting style and embracing of, you know, the unresolved stuff, which is painful. You know, like I'm going to go for a walk right now. I'm just processing everything. And I've been doing that for months now. After I avoided it this whole time you've known me on YouTube, I've just kind of had all these distraction mechanisms. I can no longer justify that. So hopefully I see you over on the Elite Video Club. And there's a link down below for that. And you can join us. You have access to DTM. You also get half-price consultations. So it's a no-brainer. And then I get to teach what I really, really care about. And I actually get to be myself over there, which I can't do on the YouTube or the other social media sites. So that's just the way it is right now. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Have an awesome day. I'm going out for a walk, then I'm gonna rebound, then I'm gonna lift weights, then I'm gonna go to the river. Have a dope day. Peace. 20 minutes out.